the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall. Tosin Fakili has the day off. Well, just in at 4, DC police are on the scene of a shooting near the Waterfront Metro Station. Police responded around 1:30 this afternoon in Southwest. They found a man grazed by a bullet. They say the two suspects started shooting near the scene and then fled. Police say the man hit is not believed to have been involved. One person has been detained along with a firearm. We're told that that investigation continues. Reaction also continues today after 8 people are left injured in what the FBI calls a targeted terror attack at an outdoor mall in Colorado. Video shows the alleged suspect, Mohammed Solomon, yelling at a crowd. Investigators say the 45-year-old threw a makeshift flamethrower at a group of demonstrators calling for the release of hostages who remain in Gaza. The FBI says the suspect was heard saying, "Free Palestine." Witnesses describe what they saw.
One person lit on fire from head to toe, and then the other few also caught on fire, but not as bad.
Police say that no one died, although court documents say that he's facing first-degree attempted murder charges. Meanwhile, law enforcement agencies have increased security at Jewish synagogues and facilities around the DMV because of the attack. DC police are set up outside of Capitol Jewish Museum. Security has already been tight there following the May 21st murders of 2 Israeli embassy employees. People continue to drop off tributes to the victims. It's a difficult time for many people, especially those who are Jewish. It's been compounded by Sunday's attack in Colorado.
I'd say as a community right now, we're very suspicious about what's going on. I don't know. I'm not sure what to say. I think it's a dangerous time to be a minority of any type.
Fairfax County Police and Montgomery County Police have also increased their presence around Jewish facilities in their communities. Coming up at 5, the herd of the Jewish Federation of Greater Washington will share his thoughts on the Colorado attack. All right, let's head over to meteorologist Eamon Madsen for a first look at our forecast. Eamon, it is a nice day in the region.
Oh, Mark, couldn't be any better almost for us here. I mean, we earned it. It's been a long stretch here where we've had pretty active weather. The end of last week was, of course, no exception to that, but we quieted things down over the weekend. The only thing we had to deal with today was the start was very chilly across much of the DMV. Temperatures dipped down into the 40s, and that is exceptionally chilly, especially for the second day of June. And look at where Frederick, Martinsburg, Cumberland started out, upper 30s. Lower 40s. That's more like early spring rather than late spring, getting toward early summer. But hey, the sunshine here started to make an effect by the late morning, and here we are later in the afternoon. It feels very comfortable out there. Middle to upper 70s across DC, southern Maryland, most of northern Virginia. It's more so in the lower 70s, but not far off of everybody else the more north that you go. So it has turned into a beautiful day. We're going to hold on to these same conditions through the end of the day into the overnight hours. Clear skies, comfortable temperatures. Now, it will be turning a little bit cool once again once that sun sets, but we are not expecting overnight lows to be as chilly as they were last night. And that is the sign of a warming trend that will really kick into effect over the next few days. We'll talk about how much more those temperatures could spike and if there could be any other hiccups to the forecast coming up for you here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Frightening moments in Alexandria over the weekend. Please tell us that 35-year-old Jeffrey Gary is in custody and accused of 2 attempted abductions. Video from the department shows the moment Gary allegedly tried to abduct a woman on Friday. This happened just after 9:30 near the Broderick Metro Station. Police said that this happened an hour after the 35-year-old tried to abduct a different woman while she was with her 4-year-old child near the Potomac Yard Station. Despite fleeing both scenes, Alexandria, Metro, and Fairfax County Police found Gary early Sunday morning, and they arrested him.
Pursuit of justice will be relentless until this case completely comes to a close. This department stands firmly behind the principle that no one, no woman, should ever have to live in fear of violence.
Well, police say that Gary does not have any prior arrests, and they ask the public to contact them if they believe that they are a victim. Meanwhile, Metro cracking down on bad behavior. A new policy starting today allows longer bans for sexual or violent offenders. Now, previously, WMATA's policy only allowed violators to be banned for up to 24 hours. Under the new Metro policy, offenders can face a 45-day ban for the first offense, 90 days for a second offense, and a year for a third. Anyone banned longer than 24 hours can make an appeal, with the final decision being handed down within 15 days. WMATA now saying they can arrest repeat offenders if they have an active ban, something customers say is pretty good.
It makes me feel good, and they can protect people. People getting robbed on the train, and people got kids and everything, and people sleeping on the trains. They need to protect the people. I feel when I come to work, I want to be able to feel safe coming to work, having nobody pushing me, trying to go behind me, or have me locked up for trying to come behind me coming on the train.
Metro says the goal is to make the system safer for everyone. Metro is eliminating more than 500 bus stops it says are underused as part of a redesigned bus network. WMATA says that these stops slow down the buses. The stops make up about 5% of the Metro system. Riders can expect to see these changes by the end of the month. Well, today, D.C. Representative Oye Olawale declaring a state of health care emergency after D.C.'s Mayor Muriel Bowser proposed cuts to Medicaid. D.C.'s rep says that cuts impact 25,000 people. Medicaid costs are forecasted to increase by $182 million, and the mayor proposed changing the eligibility requirements. Mayor also said that losing access to Medicaid means that those people can look for other coverage through tax credits or programs at the federal level.
These cuts are also going to impact pharmacists. They're going to impact physical therapists. They're going to impact even our hospitals, because if they don't have patients to cover, if they don't have patients that can pay for these medications, you can see them go. So it's not necessarily a DC Medicaid issue, it's a DC health issue.
Coming up at 4:15, our national correspondent talks more about the Medicaid cuts tied into President Trump's big, beautiful bill. Well, in the district, DDOT unveiling the name Mamie Peanut Johnson Plaza today. The intersection, formerly the Dave Thomas Circle, has been under construction for a couple of years. And DC News Now's Mariel Carbone, she joins us live at Florida and New York Avenue's Northeast. And Mariel, it's certainly quite the change out there.
Yeah, Mark, if you've ever driven through this intersection, you know just how much of a headache it can be between the poorly planned lanes that would lead to gridlock and then the construction to fix all it. But the work is done now, making it easier not only to navigate, but more safe.
This was once one of the intersections in the city that people love to hate.
Now traffic is moving smoothly.
It is night and day.
Formerly known as Dave Thomas Circle, the intersection at Florida and New York Avenue's Northeast was considered one of the most dangerous intersections in the city, with the roadways circled around a Wendy's.
They used to run into the Wendy's all the time.
It was torn down 2 years ago, making way for this.
It was a madhouse. It was like so congested, but it came out pretty good.
Monday, DDOT unveiling the new Mamie Peanut Johnson Plaza. The $41 million redesign project adds two-way traffic on 1st Street Northeast and restores two-way traffic on Florida Avenue. It includes 3 public parks, protected bike lanes, and expanded sidewalks.
When roadways are confusing, you get a lot of frustrated drivers who both are feeling like they're sitting in traffic and they do reckless things to try to get out of it quickly.
Sharon Kirschbaum is the director of DDOT and says Florida Avenue is part of the high injury network, meaning it's one of several roadways that amounts to 50% of DC's major injuries and fatalities. The redesign is intended to help that.
It's sensible and it makes sense, and for those who get frustrated by waiting, it diminishes that.
Driving people safely into the area instead of driving them out.
Rather than serving as a barrier, as it has in the past, be an intersection that really weaves together the neighborhoods of Noma, Eckington.
And Mark, the name of the plaza, Mamie Peanut Johnson, she was one of the first pitchers in the Negro Leagues and also was a longtime resident here in the district. Reporting live in Northeast, I'm Mariel Carbone, DC News Now.
All right, Marielle, thank you. A commuter alert in Montgomery County. MDOT says northbound I-270 merge lanes between Shady Grove Road and I-370 are now closed. Pete Peringer says that the MD Highway Administration says the closure is for safety concerns.